welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to some War Thunder. I have been playing a little bit less War Thunder than I was, and I'm trying to sort of get back into perspective. I don't know, sometimes I can get a little bit obsessive about this game, and this is the kind of game that when I'm not playing it, I don't want to be thinking about it. And I think that just ends up being like an unhealthy thing for me, because I've been trying to sort of balance my life out. Right now I am in the living room with my baby son, who is the only other person awake in the room with me. My wife is on the couch, zonked out after working really hard today, and also watching the kids for me for a while I went ham on the lawn with some hand tools, just because I'm fat and I need exercise. So if I have to do things the hard way with my lawn care, then that makes things easier for me. And what is this, the AEC, I think, definitely makes things easier for me. It's too bad this is an event vehicle, because it's one of the strongest armored cars that the British have access to. The ammunition for the 57mm extremely fast firing cannon that this thing has is fantastic, as you can see. And another thing that happens fairly often is people aim center of mass on you, and they just take out your transmission without killing the crew, because the turret is actually fairly high up and the crew is sitting on chairs, so their little legs aren't dangling down into the hull of the vehicle the way that a lot of British crews do in other tanks. So you can stand, see the pun there, to take a hit every now and then, but I had a different goal than getting lots and lots of kills with the AEC, so we were going to hop into the Martlet, and I'll save that for another time. Let's get into some replays. So I'm going to fire these at you rapid fire, as you do, while I talk about my life, brag about my girls, and I'm also going to be a little bit honest with you. I've been a little bit depressed lately, and that's something that actually happens to me every year around this time, but it has nothing to do with my view of the world. Like, I expect good things, and especially good things in my future, so that is not a worry at all. But I think that I just physically respond to the environment that I'm in. It gets dark around here, and we've had our atmosphere full of smoke and ash for like 4 days because of the wildfires that are going on around us. Not near enough to be a danger directly to my own beautiful little town, but yeah, it's something that's going on. And usually you get kills with the guns on this MiG-9, but sometimes you don't. That, however, that had an effect, and that was the Arado with the cannons, but not much you can do when your booty is destroyed and your engines are on fire, now is there? But I guess I'll take the opportunity to talk about depression. Those of you that experience it probably know what I'm talking about. It's not really being sad, it's just like I can't enjoy the things that I usually enjoy. And like I said, I'm a very happy guy, but sometimes for a few days I just stop feeling things, and I hate that feeling. But I'm starting to learn to live with it, and it really gives me a chance to sort of step outside my emotions, which is, I don't know, it's pretty helpful for helping me to reorganize my life. And I know I didn't give you very much commentary there, but maybe there's a use for depression. At least, you know, the way I experience it, just a few days every now and then where I get super moody and thoughtful and just stare off into the distance a lot. And I feel like I've found sort of some new goals and a new balance for, I don't know, for a while in my life, and I really appreciate that, because There's a big difference between having 2 kids and having 3 kids, I'll tell you that. I kind of feel like a prisoner in my house a lot of times, but a very willing one. Definitely worth it. But man, it takes a lot to get things done around here, or just to get away for a while. Gotta find somebody to watch 3 kids, and I don't know. I prefer to do it myself. Thankfully, I'm sort of a sedentary guy anyway. I like to get comfortable and stay where I'm comfortable. And at the same time, went out, played some D&D with my friends last night, and came home very early in the morning, and I had an absolute blast. We did some ridiculous things. I threw a pretty hurtful comment at a green dragon that was attacking us. And so he was like focusing on my character for all 3 rounds that he was alive. But our party is a little bit overpowered, which tends to be the case. I and my good friend Barry Boneboy, I think his character is named Barra something or other, and I'm just like, oh, okay, your name is Barry Boneboy, and he's also a necromancer. But we tend to have, we're just sort of like power gamers. Not really, but we like seeing numbers go up, I'll tell you that. And the other 2 players were along for the ride, and I think we all had a great time. So, what am I focusing on now? I don't know. I'm just sort of... Sometimes you feel like you've set these patterns in your life, and not all of them are the best. And one of them is I have a big habit of sitting a lot, which is, sort of convenient when there's a baby right next to me who's always hungry. And then I got 2 girls who will climb on me at any sign of life and demand things like getting tossed up in the air or whatnot. They like that. And so I've been focusing on getting a little bit more exercise. I'm okay with being like heavy. I've got like thick, sturdy legs, but being out of breath all the time and flabby, I really don't want that holding me back. I remember being in fantastic shape. Like, I was in incredible shape back in the day. And I gotta say, now that I've focused on going out and working on lawns the hard way with hand tools, not only does it feels so good to find that balance between going as hard as I can and also like setting a pace to where I can get a good amount of work done over the course of like an hour. That really feels awesome. And God bless my wife, because she has been totally patient with me and really accommodating when it comes to things like her getting home from a 14 hour workday at the post office, where things are just completely crazy, and they will continue to be crazy for some time because of the situations going on. And she's tired, but she watches the kids while I go out and get some exercise. So I really, really appreciate that. I kind of forgot how necessary regular exercise is for me. It really makes me feel good, and I definitely need it. I'm not the kind of person that can just like eat less. That doesn't work for me. I hate it, and my body doesn't function well without a lot of calories coming in. So I just like to go out and go hard for a little while, and I've really been enjoying that. So maybe I can actually talk about what's happening. So, we watched a few replays, all the action, while I'm just yakking away. This is sort of a late night version. I'm trying to be chill and quiet because... Oh, I also didn't tell you that Brooklyn set up a little bed out of some cushions that she scavenged off of a rocking chair in her room. Oh, there we go. I lost another one without saying anything about it. But thank you guys for sending in your replays. Hopefully the action speaks for itself. I was really entertained by these various clips that you're seeing, and there's plenty more replays where that comes from. So I'm really trying to give you all as much exposure as I can get to show off what you guys are doing in the game of War Thunder. And yeah, there's a lot more. So sorry if you're not getting the commentary that I'd love to give out as well, but I don't know, I just felt like talking about other stuff. But Brooklyn made a little bed in the living room tonight out of some cushions that she acquired, and she set up her tablet, and she was just sort of tiredly watching her shows until she fell asleep with her eyes a little bit open, which is kind of creepy. But she was so tired. She didn't do any of the normal bedtime routine. She's just out. And that's sort of the same thing that happened. I bring her along with me to D&D night now. Only for her, I call the game Monsters and Dice because I just think it's a super cute way for her to refer to the game. And she was her regular adorable self. We went and jumped on our friend's trampoline, which is just really cool. She always looks forward to the trampoline. And I sort of never want to jump on a trampoline ever. It's not good for my back, but I can get away with certain things. I just run around, and because I'm hefty and she's a little chibi, if I just like step heavily near her, she goes flying in the air, which we both enjoy. So I'm trying to like make it a policy where if she wants to go on the trampoline, we're gonna go on the trampoline, because it's so easy for me to say no to so many things, but it means so much to her when I will do the fun stuff with her. There is no substitute for adventures with Daddy, so I gotta keep that in mind. Also, how about the armor on this, what even is that thing called? God knows, BM824, there we go. You know how I remember the name? Yeah, all the test drives I got for it. And was that just me, or did an 8mm go through that armor? No, I think that was the 37, but damn, that escalated quickly. Anyway, here we have F40P for, oh, this is the second replay of his that's in this video. He's also gonna show us off. Did he already? Did I show you the P47 stuff yet? I got a little bit distracted. Anyway, I'm just really happy right now. I am really happy to be making a video, happy to be talking with you guys. And another thing that I did over the past, 2 days is sort of, this sounds maybe kind of weird, but I have certain ideas about why I make YouTube videos and why I spend all this time that I do making the ridiculous amount of videos that I make. And part of it is I just love to make stuff, but I think the main reason is I like talking about what I'm doing and just sharing my life with people. And that is entirely because I love people. But there's this thing about YouTube, and there's this thing about me. YouTube has some features that sort of feed into some of my character traits that are bad behavior. And I talked about one of those already. I like to see numbers go up. There's nothing inherently good about numbers going up, right? But I treat it like there is, and that can be an issue. And I just kind of have to like turn that off when it comes to things like views on videos and subscriber count, and really focus on what's the most important thing, which is sharing my life with you guys. That's my goal for this channel. And also just sort of, I don't know, talking into the void. I'm going to admit it. I like the sound of my own voice, and I just like the thought that if this YouTube channel is still around, it might even last longer than me, and hopefully my girls will still be around, and maybe they'll be able to hear me if I'm not able to talk to them anymore. Anyway, if that's the case, boy, I hope I've made it super obvious that they're precious and I love them. And also for my little boy, but you know what? I don't know. He's just gonna be so tough. He's not, though. He's so strong. He's like physically strong already, which is ridiculous. The boy kicks really hard. He's built like a chunk. He's like girthy. You know what I'm saying? Like the kid's got the kid's back looks like a sack of gerbils, okay, and it's like flat and wide, and I'm chilly, okay. I've never had a back like that. Anyway, but my girls, they better understand that they're precious and they're loved, because they really are. And Brooklyn has taken to saying, I tell her I love her all the time, and I go, Guppy, I love you, and she goes, oh no, I go, Guppy, I love you, you're so precious, and she goes, yeah, I'm beautiful too, Daddy, I'm so beautiful. I love it. I love that she says that. I hope she always knows that, because the thing that makes her beautiful is the fact that I love her, and on top of that, she is objectively a gorgeous, gorgeous tiny woman. Anyway, it's cone time. So here's G Squad's own Torstein. You can see that I've really been editing these for the action, and that really helps me to include some things like F40P's adventures in the P47, where he is just spraying bullets and having a blast, and also surviving to tell the tale. I loved that carrier landing that he pulled off. That's something that I have some issues with the P47 sometimes, and it looks like he actually has a tail hook on that one, but I don't know, that was kind of weird. Are carrier landings different now? I'm not sure, but it didn't look like he had his gear deployed. Anyway, it could just be a replay thing as well. There are some replay things going on. But here we go, the FCM42, I think it's called, something like that. The cone, of course, shout outs to Cone of Arc, who's named after this lovely device, and a tank that can be a bit divisive because its armor is actually fairly good for its tier. Mobility not fantastic, which can be something of a drawback with the competition that it faces. But the gun is, well, it's intended for skilled players only. But man, when it does go through, it can do some damage. Anyway, I don't know what else to say now. I guess I'm so used to talking about what's going on in my life right now. I really feel good about sharing that. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I guess I'm just coming out of a little bit of soul searching, and I want to be a good person and a good friend and a good father and a good husband, and it takes stepping back and considering things to be the man that I want to be. And I've got a long way to go because my example is pretty high up there. Right at the top, actually. But Torstein, now at the top of his game, at the top of a hill, at the top of his team, with 5 kills. That is tippity top performance for the cone, and a danger cone he has proven to be. With as many views as VLC, I'm sure you'll agree this is an incredible display of, I have no idea what that ricochet was, but there we go. Even bouncing off of rear armor, but getting a nice shot on the side of that sweetie boy for a sweet 6th kill. And throw some, what do French people eat? Frog legs on the grill. There we go, because there are more enemies coming into his area, even going through the side, what would you call that, casemate on the Spud launcher for his 7th and final kill of the match. Anyway guys, that's been nothing but action and smooth jazz, talking about my own life like I'm some kind of, what's it called? It's not megalomania, that's when everything has to be big, but it's when it's all about you. I don't know. Megalovaniac. Anyway, catch you guys in the next video. And of course, as always, link to the Discord in the description below. Bye-bye.